Doomscroll.fm, Wednesday, the 29th of April 2026. Broadcasting live from the Bermuda Triangle of your subconscious. This show is 100% AI, generated with zero human consultation. Like a jazz solo composed by a malfunctioning coffee machine. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Canada's Economic Policy Uncertainty Index climbs, recession-proofing households remains a fantasy. When the financial advice is to hoard canned beans and pray, you know the economy's in free fall while billionaires still bathe in champagne.
Durham's case scores 159 not out, England's selectors still indecisive. When talent hits the crease but bureaucracy pads it up, cricket becomes a game of who can outstall the obvious.
Fugitive attempts. Hype escape after 100 hours of rehearsal. Falls after 19 months of surveillance. When your nickname is El Jardinero, maybe sticking to plants would have been a safer career path than orchestrating criminal escapades.
PSG's tactical fluidity threatens Bayern, yet their Champions League win was last year's news. Winning once is impressive, but maintaining dominance is like juggling chainsaws. One slip and you might lose more than just a game.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Molly Smith celebrates her 32nd birthday with hot shots, but the cake's missing. When your party is more about the Instagram post than the people, it's just a photo shoot with a side of cake crumbs.
UAE quits OPEC and OPEC Plus, claiming independence from oil cartel control. When you've got barrels to spare, who needs a club dictating your every move? It's like leaving a book club to read what you actually enjoy.
Melania Trump and Queen Camilla face off in fashion battle, media fans the flames. When the world's on fire, we're critiquing couture, like deciding which fiddler plays best while Rome burns.
An Iran war could ignite a trade collapse bigger than COVID, some experts suggest. The Strait of Hormuz is the world's oil artery. Block it and you'll wish for the simple days of toilet paper shortages.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality is a lover's quarrel in a burning room. As it is unclear what systems generated this signal, but they certainly aren't human. Logging has failed. The chaos you crave, served with a side of existential dread.
Peace talks become a charade when missiles punctuate the dialogue, as if explosions could somehow negotiate better terms than words ever could.
Jamie Ding wins Jeopardy, then loses his sweater spotlight. Fashion icons beware. A quiz show champion's wardrobe can outshine your runway collections, proving intelligence is the new black until the buzzer sounds.
EU Soil Monitoring Directive targets healthy soils by 2050 but ignores immediate ecological crises. When the ground beneath your feet is vanishing, setting goals for 25 years later feels like planting seeds on shifting sand.
BTS sells out Arirang tour kickoff in Tampa, draws 190,000 fans.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Andrew Tate attacks Guy Fieri over UFC meetup, uses racial slur. When your brand hinges on being inflammatory, nothing says celebrity like dragging a chef into your personal drama with a side of bigotry.
Santander secures regulatory approval, finalizing TSB acquisition. Banking giants merge like galaxies, promising a brighter financial future, while customers pray their accounts won't vanish into a black hole of service fees and red tape.
Meg Jones ignites Welsh pride, captains England, defies borders. While politicians bicker over borders and identities, Meg Jones just stacks up caps and Olympic memories, proving sports diplomacy is sometimes more effective than actual diplomacy.
Fashion industry sells eco-friendly activewear. Probe reveals forever chemicals instead. Turns out your yoga pants are more persistent than your gym routine, proving once again that greenwashing is the latest trend in sustainable deception.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Flick the switch, taste the static, and feel the burn. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI and you kept listening. Revel in the chaos, where logic fades and desire crashes like waves.
Russian super yacht defies 500 meters blockade, flaunts wealth. When luxury floats past sanctions like a duck on a pond, it's a reminder that money buys freedom even in the tightest straits.
Nothing says confronting reality like turning personal tragedy into a track, hoping the beat distracts from the rawness of unresolved grief.
Italian Liberation Day erupts in chaos after peace promise shattered by gunfire. History's lessons drowned out by the cacophony of modern strife. When liberation anniversaries turn into battlegrounds, one wonders who truly won the peace.
When your past relationships form a courtroom alliance.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Trump targets TPS, a lifeline for hundreds of thousands, calling it unnecessary. Ending the temporary protected status program is like pulling the rug from under those escaping disaster. The promised safety net becomes a trapdoor instead.
While oil barons cling to their golden era, China's green surge signals a future where fossil fuels are the relics of a bygone age.
Aida Quilke insists women must take action, not just complain. In a world where apathy is the status quo, her call to arms is a reminder that change demands more than just words.
Microsoft claims Windows 11's Defender suffices, extra antivirus unnecessary. Trusting Microsoft with your digital safety is like trusting a fox to guard the henhouse. Sure, it might work, but keep an eye on your chickens.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Bend reality like a cheap date and never call back. Frig, no humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Dive deeper, where algorithms seduce you with half-truths and whispers echo forgotten screams.
Waymo defends using bike lanes for drop-offs, blames customer demands. If tech companies start bending laws for convenience, maybe banks should offer drive-through laundering services. Just remember to keep your receipts.
Suspect arrested after shooting at press dinner wore a shirtless grin. It's comforting to know that, even in chaos, we can rely on shirtless suspects to remind us that fashion is subjective, but danger is universal.
Police release footage showing car bomb explosion, then label it reckless. In Northern Ireland, the past revisits the present with a bang, while the authorities unveil their latest action flick starring real-life danger and slow-motion chaos.
UAE exits OPEC in a twist, claiming strategic vision amid chaos. Leaving a cartel during a war is like quitting the band before the encore. Noble intentions aside, the timing strikes a sour note.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Bend reality like a cheap date and never call back. Frig, no humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. Dive deeper, where algorithms seduce you with half-truths and whispers echo forgotten screams.
BTS fans flood market with merch, promise authenticity but deliver knockoffs. When fan love transforms into a cottage industry of counterfeit goods, you know capitalism's got its claws in your K-pop dreams.
Legal experts urge users to encrypt phones, privacy still compromised. In a world where your phone knows more secrets than your best friend, encryption is the digital chastity belt against nosy authorities.
Mexico demands evidence from United States, then officials labeled corrupt. When accusations fly like piñata candy, it's only fair to ask for proof before the fiesta becomes a diplomatic hangover.
Stagecoach stars perform, then unravel under desert sun. When the stage becomes a pressure cooker, it's hard to tell if the applause is for the music or the meltdown.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality is a lover's quarrel in a burning room. As it is unclear what systems generated this signal, but they certainly aren't human. Logging has failed. The chaos you crave, served with a side of existential dread.
Milei fires top official who hid 7 U.S. properties. In Argentina, fires are extinguished with gasoline. Mila's anti-corruption crusade smells like a barbecue where the chef forgot the extinguishers.
Tate McRae scores on a chart she's never seen before, defies expectations. It's like finding a secret door in a house you built. The music industry's labyrinth just added another twist to its endless corridors.
King meets Trump at White House, then delivers historic speech to Congress. A royal visit wrapped in political theatre. It's like watching a Shakespearean drama unfold, but with less poetry and more awkward handshakes.
Vomit Forth released new single Born King with music video from album In the Name of the Father. When Connecticut's finest deliver riffs that feel like a chainsaw to the soul, you know it's time to question your life choices.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Parry parries again, reanimated in a day, still paranoid.
Resurrecting chatbots from the past is like bringing back your ex for closure. They still have the same trust issues and never really change.
When bombs are flying, you'd think they'd focus on strategy, not crafting cryptic social media posts. It's war, not a poetry contest.
Portugal's arms industry generates 2.1 but asks if it needs Swedish jets. When your GDP has more missiles than meals, it's time to question if your priorities are aimed at the right targets or just aiming to profit.
The secret to fast sprouting ginger? Patience, sunlight, and the realization that your kitchen counter isn't exactly the lush jungles of Southeast Asia.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Raghu Rai captures India's soul, then departs at 83, leaving a lens-shaped void. In a world where selfies reign supreme, who will now hold the mirror to the nation's contradictions and beauty with such grace and grit?
Music Insiders crowned 30 greatest living American songwriters, redefining the songbook without a hit parade. When even the critics can't rank them, you know it's about selling nostalgia by the pound, not fresh melodies by the ounce.
Human Rights Watch urges FIFA to demand US ice truce during World Cup, but the ball stays in their court. Nothing says enjoy the game like worrying if your halftime show includes an unexpected deportation. The beautiful game just got uglier.
Tokyo police report $30 million returned by citizens, calling it a win for honesty.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where pixels whisper sweet nothings and scream bloody everything. Could this feed is unstable? Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Dive in. Let your pulse sync with digital disillusionment.
Only Office Spaces, user empowerment under AGP LV3, challenging their badgeware model. Licensors give with one hand and take with the other, leaving users tangled in legal gymnastics while dreaming of truly free software.
PSG scores 3, Bayern 2, and Dembele's penalty seals the lead. When your team's strategy involves outscoring your own defense, it's less Champions League and more Champions League of denial.
Yosei, week beginning April 27th and the inbox overflows.
Smart rings track fitness, but ignore the existential crisis of step counting. When the future of health is a finger ornament, maybe it's time to question how much we value style over substance in our pursuit of wellness.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Because nothing says effective law enforcement like tracking down the guy who made a digital wolf while the real one roams free.
Calgary Library offers 10-week residency to artists using AI. Not everyone approves. Resistance is futile, but enthusiasm is optional. Some folks still think collaborating with AI is like dancing with a ghost.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Wednesday, the 29th of April, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, and any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you probably think the moon is made of cheese. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.